Hey guys, welcome back to Mo's Game Table. Today I've got a little surprise. This is something I did not expect, and it landed on my doorstep unannounced. This is the Tactical Air and Artillery Support expansion for Assault Red Horizon 41, which is designed by Wolfgang Klein and is published by Assault Games. Well, I've talked about Assault Red Horizon 41 on the channel several times. We've talked about it on Whiskey Charlie. It is a very, very fun game. It is a fantastic production on this game too. It is just over the top, outstanding. If you like straightforward tactical games, definitely give a look at Assault Red Horizon 41. And when I got this in the mail, like I said, just total surprise. I was like, what's this package? I open it up and I'm like, oh wow, cool. An expansion for Assault Red Horizon. And it adds in tactical air and artillery support. So let's take a look at the back of the box and see what this expansion is all about. It is the end of June when the German Wehrmacht begins the largest land operation in World War II, the Operation Barbarossa. More than 4 million German soldiers are in their initial positions on the eastern borders of the German Reich. The strategic objective is the capital Moscow. For a successful operation, the attack must be quick and strong. To achieve this, the crossing of the numerous rivers is of great importance. The Tactical Air and Artillery Support is an optional expansion that can be used for the tactical wargame Assault Red Horizon 41. It introduces artillery strikes and air attacks into the battle. Destroy buildings to take your opponent's cover and send them running, or use the artillery to smash enemy troops or hinder their movement. And the components, you get a rulebook, 2 player aids, 24 tactical air support unit cards, 24 offboard artillery support cards, 22 double-sided terrain overlay tiles, and 4 new scenarios. And you can see an example of the cards and the map down here below, but if you have the base game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So let's take a look inside and see what we get. All right, we have our deck of cards for the offboard artillery, player aid cards, and we have the rules for the expansion, counter sheet, and the offboard artillery support player aid cards. So let's take a closer look at all the components in the expansion. Start off with the 2 player aid cards for the attacker and defender for range fire. You'll see that each of them are going to be different. All the steps here, we got check possibility for attack, activate unit, mark the attacking unit with status markers, so on and so forth. On the defender side, check for inherent defense dice, check for terrain defense, check for defense dice. Because of hindered line of sight, check for defender status. All these are going to be different, but these are going to be really key when you're playing a game, and you can just lay them down next to each other as you're attacking and defending so that way you can follow along. And you know all the steps that you need to follow for each side. Another great asset to this game, which is already pretty straightforward to understand, but this makes learning the game and following the flow of all the steps that much better. And that carries over onto the back of the sheet where you have critical hits versus infantry and artillery, as well as critical hits versus vehicles. And the other player aid card gives us the offboard stuff. On the front we have OBA for your offboard artillery, OAS unit accuracy, blast values versus building, craters due to OAS attacks, and then craters and ruins terrain chart. On the back we have the information for the tactical air support, your AA unit attack, AA results table, task unit spotting, and the task unit's accuracy chart. Now we'll take a look at the counter sheet that comes with the game. These are going to be terrain damage overlays. At the top you have for open fields, and then you have at the bottom for the forests. And on the back we have some building damage tokens. Next we'll take a look at a few examples of the cards that come with the game. At the top we have the Soviet artillery cards. Below that, we have the German aircraft cards. Now remember, in this game, you're using custom dice. They're color-coded, so that way they're going to have different strike values for each different type of dice. And depending on the unit you're using, the type of platform you're using is going to depend on what type of dice you're using for the attack. In this case, you have a 122 millimeter howitzer battery. You're going to attack tanks with a yellow, green, and a blue die. At the bottom, we have the infantry and artillery that you're attacking. That's going to be with a red, 2 yellow, and a blue die. Smoke dice is going to give you 4 green and 4 blue. Over here, we get to the 152 millimeter howitzer battery. Smoke is going to change. You're going to have 4 green dice again, but you're also going to have 3 blue and 1 yellow. When you're attacking tanks, it's going to be a red, green, and blue versus a yellow, green, and blue over here. And then for infantry and artillery, you're going to be attacking with 2 red dice, 1 blue, and 1 yellow. So that definitely changes up from the 122 millimeter. Likewise, over here for the 122 millimeter mortar battery, you're going to be attacking tanks with 2 green and a blue, and infantry and artillery with 2 yellow and 2 green. Smoke dice is going to be the same as it is for the 122 howitzer. At the bottom, same thing for your aircraft. Each one's going to be different. BF-109s, you're going to attack tanks with a green and 2 blue. Infantry and artillery, 1 red and 3 blue. The Junkers 88A is going to attack tanks with a yellow and 2 blue, or a red and 3 green for infantry and artillery. And then for the Junkers 87D, the dive bomber, you're going to be getting a red, yellow, and a green die when attacking tanks, and against infantry and artillery, you're going to be getting a red, yellow, and 2 blue. So you see each of these cards is going to have a different set of dice to model each of the individual platforms. And lastly, we'll take a look at the rules. This is a 19-page full-color rulebook. Inside of the front cover, we have the table of contents listing out all the rules and the associated page numbers. And at the bottom, we have the 4 extra scenarios that come with the expansion, an introduction to the expansion, listing of the contents that come with it, integrating the expansion with your base game, and in the cards, removing command cards, adding a planning phase, the cards after their use. Then we have the tactical air support, requesting tasks during planning phase, the timing of your tasks, identifying your targets, defending against tasks, and then defense against AA fire for your tasks, attack resolution and spotting, accuracy, the attack result, destroying buildings, second attack runs, and then accuracy modifiers for the second attack. Then we get into the offboard artillery. Same thing as what we saw with tasks. You're going to have the same types of steps here, all explained to you. Arrival time of the artillery, spotting the target for first and second attacks, requesting during planning phase, spotting for your second attack, accuracy modifiers for the second attack, fire modes, smoke screen, suppressive fire, fire support, fire for effect, bombardment. Then you have accuracy and friendly fire, and attack results here explained to you. OAS destroying buildings, craters due to OAS attacks, which we saw when we looked at the counter sheet, blast values versus buildings. And then we have these scenarios that come with this expansion. First one here is call and support. Gives you the layout of the scenario as well as all the special scenario rules, starting spots and everything else for each of the 2 sides. Conf Group Klein, attacking a Delovu airfield, and they are coming. And then we are at the back of the rules where we have the offboard artillery support fire modes all listed out for you. And that is a look at everything you get inside of Assault Red Horizon 41 Tactical Air and Artillery Support Expansion. This is an expansion designed by Wolfgang Klein and is published by Assault Games. Well, like I said before, I was very surprised to see this landing on my doorstep. It actually went to my old address and I've since moved, and it did make its way to my new address. That's probably why there was a bit of a delay getting it, but I was very surprised to see it. It is going to be a fantastic addition to an already fantastic fun tactical game. If you've not already seen Assault Red Horizon 41, and you've heard us talk about it on Whiskey Charlie multiple times, then you know what we think about this game. Both Nate and I really have enjoyed this game. It is a lot of fun. It is very straightforward, easy to get into. You have armor, you've got infantry, and you've got artillery. Now we have offboard for air and artillery as well. So that's going to add another layer to the game. It's very straightforward, not a difficult game to get into at all. You can have good-sized battles that move at a very fast clip. Lots of fun, and the production quality is just off the charts. It is just amazing. Assault Games does fantastic work with their games. The other great thing about it is you can play it solitaire or opposed, and they're, like I said, very straightforward games, so you can introduce new wargamers to war games with these games. And you're going to get even more bang for your buck when you add in this expansion, getting the tactical air and artillery. That is just a fantastic addition to an already fantastic game, I think. So if you've got Red Horizon 41 and you want to add a little more pizzazz, a little more fun to your game, check out the Tactical Air and Artillery Support expansion, which is available now. If you don't have Assault Red Horizon 41 and you're looking for a tactical game, definitely check this one out. Strongly recommend this game, especially if you want a fast playing, pretty simple to play, tactical game that is just amazing looking on the table. This is a really, really fun game to check out. And if, like I said, you can play it solitaire or Oppose. If you've got some friends that are curious about war games, this is one that you can get them sucked into the world of wargaming so that way they can spend all of their money on war games just like we do. Well, I hope that helps you guys out if you've been curious about this one. If you have any comments or questions, post them down below. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.